Hello, welcome to Simon Says Artwork. This is Inktober number 2. I've still got an injured right hand, so I'm going to be filming myself drawing my second image again with my left hand. So, okay, let's get started. And here we are for the second Inktober, and with this pen I thought I'm going to try and do a combination of fairly wide marks using the edge of the pen, and then also attempt to do fine lines with it as well. And I found that doing a diagonal from the top right to the lower left was quite a steady line that I could make. I could really lean on the nib and pull it down the page, whereas every other line was quite wobbly and tricky. And as you probably know if you've watched my videos before, I'm not left-handed, I'm right-handed, so this was something where I was trying to be, I don't know, I suppose just trying to be kind of intuitive with the marks that I was making. If I thought about it too much, I would have tried to turn it into something figurative. So I thought instead, if I just try to make lines where I think lines should go and dark areas where I feel as though there's too much light getting through, then I'll have some kind of abstract piece that could be quite interesting. And what ended up happening was that a lot of mixtures of different diagonals and, as you can see here, horizontals. I was trying to also establish a margin around the page, so I was trying to get a horizontal line at the top and bottom and vertical lines on the left and the right. That was also really tricky, whereas the diagonal from top right to bottom left wasn't as difficult. It was a strange thing that I just stumbled upon and then relied upon the longer the drawing continued. Now you can see there that I had to hold my hand in quite a weird position, and because I'm not used to how this works, I was just trying to find out what it is that actually feels more comfortable than others with this pen, and then also trying to clean up some of the lines that went awry by doing little cuts here and there, bits of lines and dashes. I didn't really want to do hatching for this one because I thought if this is just more shapes and blocked out shadow, it could be quite an interesting, almost industrial looking abstract. So a lot of this to me looks like brackets or hinges or metallic work of some kind of frame, but none of it was with that in mind. It was just that that's what diagonals and large kind of shapes like this remind me of, really, is just kind of mechanical work. And I do quite enjoy doing drawings like this. It's not as relaxing as doing hatching, but I have to admit hatching is my comfort zone, and I've not been brave enough yet to do the page full of faces. That's something which I mentioned on the first Inktober drawing that I did yesterday, that I am going to do a page full of faces with my left hand, which should be hilarious because I love drawing faces from imagination, but it's been quite a while since I have done that, and I've never done it with my left hand, so all of this is a novelty. And I've been drawing for about, I think it's about 10 or 11 years now, so it's interesting that I've never actually put the effort into being left-handed, and it's only when I got an injury the other day, it was 2 days ago I think, and after that I thought, right, I'm not missing Inktober, I've already committed to it, and not officially on the channel, but I'd committed to it in my mind that I was going to do it. And then when I had my injury on my right hand, I thought, never mind, I'm just going to push through, and it gives the opportunity for some growth and some kind of development into potentially using both hands for a drawing. So as I work my way down, I also consider higher up what has changed, and certain areas I thought would be nice to black out, and I'm glad that I did, because it's rare that I do things like this and then really quite enjoy the decisions, but making different areas dark was really quite a nice feeling to me, because I thought this is starting to have a lot better balance. The more I was adding dark areas, the more it was making the other shapes and the lighter areas look better. In my opinion, this might not be everyone's thing, but for me it was quite satisfying to see how some of these abstract shapes come together. Now I must admit, before this was actually blacked out, the bottom part, I thought it was quite nice with the shapes anyway, because the diagonals, as I said, were quite nice to keep clean. It's really hard to get verticals clean now. I'm going to have to work on different ways of trying to steady my arm, but for some reason doing the diagonals just seemed to work. I think it just goes with the angles of that my wrist would obviously bend, and then trying to figure out what do I leave light, what do I make dark, and what can I cut into. And then certain things would happen for me where I'd make a mistake or my pen would wobble, and that's why I would make a darker area in certain places. And just like that there, where I was trying to do a vertical line and it wobbled, so I thought if I go over all of it and just create a black space there, it's not going to hurt. I haven't done that in many parts of the drawing, so it's going to be something which is different from the top part. And that's what ended up happening, is I kept making little mistakes and then trying to hide them all the way through. And I don't mind things like that. That's quite a nice way of completing a drawing to an extent. If you're going to do a doodle like this, you might as well play around and then try to clean it up as you're making a mess. I thought that was really quite nice. So there we are. That's where I got up to. Okay, that's the drawing done. Now I ended up using the brush pen for the Pigma Micron. It came in this small set which I purchased about a month ago, and I haven't used it very much, and I love brush pens, but this is one of those kind of flexible felt nibs, and I quite liked it. Turned out being a bit of an abstract piece, but there we are. That's what it turned out like. I think it's quite interesting. Bit of a strange one, you know, it's got kind of like weird dynamics to it. It kind of like looks like it's got depth. It's a bit of an illusion. See if you can see it. You can't see it up close. You kind of see it there. So this is my Inktober number 2. Learning to draw on my left hand. Who knows where it's going to lead by the time I get to number 31, but there we are. Second Inktober. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, please leave a like, comment down below, subscribe to the channel, ring the notification bell. If you can, hit all from the 3 options of all, none and personalised, because those are the 3 options you get when you subscribe. It's not a big deal if you don't. I really appreciate you watching anyway, and I will see you in the next video.